All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome. This is the Municipal Regulations Committee. It's Tuesday, September 30th, 2025, and it's 7:04 p.m. We're just a few minutes late for starting. We're at the Great Hall, 3rd floor, 10 Pearl Street in Stoughton, Mass. This is a public hearing. It's in person and a virtual meeting online. I'm just going to let somebody in. There we go. Welcome to all the committee members. Appreciate everybody coming in to either town hall or online. And let me just read this notice. In accordance with Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2025, which extends the Governor's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, Mass General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 20, until June 30th, 2027, this public hearing will be conducted both in person and virtually via Google Meets. As I noted, it's a public hearing, be held by the Municipal Regulations Committee. It's to discuss the special town meeting articles that are listed on the agenda. The meeting is being recorded and being broadcast live over SMAC, which is www.stoughtontv.com, and/or is being recorded for later broadcast and internet access. To participate in the public hearing with Google Meets, the URL is on the agenda. To join the public hearing by phone, you would dial 669-244-0105. You have to enter a PIN, 356-062-481#. Agenda items may be taken out of order at the chairperson's discretion, and votes may be taken on recommending articles to the special town meeting. The meeting is now called to order. If you are able, please rise to say the Pledge of Allegiance with us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Please be seated. John Rock could not be here this evening. He's away from town. He's out of town. Would anybody want to be like acting chair? If Dave, any objections to that? No objections? All right, I'll appoint you as acting chair, David Billow. And what precinct are you from? 4. David Billow from precinct 4. All right, do you have the agenda in front of you? Okay, great. Articles to be heard and discussed at the public hearing. As I mentioned, votes may be taken on all articles. First up is Article 4. If you want to read the Article 4, David. No, I just appointed you as temporary chair. Yes, so read Article 4.
Okay, so we're all set with motion and...
Oh, let's make a motion to open the public hearing. You're right.
All right, Dave Billow, Precinct 4, Acting Chair of the Municipal Regulations Committee. And can I have a motion to open the public hearing of the Municipal Regulations Committee?
Motion. Okay, Joe Piano, you made the motion to open the public hearing? Okay, I'm going to ask everybody when you make a motion or make a statement, please state your name, because Katie from the town clerk's office is online taking the minutes. So she really can't discern who's speaking, okay? So the motion was made by Joe Piana and seconded by Michael Moore. Okay, if you don't mind, Dave, I'll take the roll call vote because I have the list here. Okay, thank you. Okay, the motion was made by Joe Piana, seconded by Michael Moore to open the public hearing. I need a yes or a no as I call the roll. Michael Moore? Yes. Philip Connors?
Yes.
Thank you. John Rock is not here. David Billow?
Here.
Thank you. Tracy Maggio? Tracy?
Yes.
Thank you.
Here.
Thank you. Joseph Piana? Here. Thank you. Marina Reyes?
Yes.
Thank you. And Karen Klipp is not here. Okay, so that is 1, 2, 3. It's unanimous of those present. Thank you, David.
Great, thanks, Bob. Can you just read off the names of the members again, just so I can jot those down?
Sure. Let me give you the list
Okay. Oh, great.
right at the end.
Thank you. So with the meeting now underway, first order of business is review of Article 4, which is titled Amend Town Code Tax Title Payment Agreements. And it starts by saying to see if the town will vote to amend the Town of Stoughton General Bylaws or Code by adding a new section to Article 1, Section 9-1.1, entitled Redemption of Real Estate in Tax Title, in accordance with General Laws, Chapter 60, Section 62A, as follows, and to authorize the town clerk to make non-substantive editorial revisions to correct any scrivener's errors and/or to ensure consistent and appropriate sequencing and numbering in the general bylaws.
Dave, you don't have to read the rest of it, though.
Okay.
That's good. And is there someone present to present? When you come to the table, if you can identify yourself to the committee and those people online and watching at home.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. My name's Elizabeth Zaleski, and I'm the Finance Director for the Town of Stoughton. And I am here to explain and/or answer questions on Article number 4. Would you like me to explain? Okay. Article number 4 actually allows the treasurer to enter into payment agreements for people who request them. There are certain guidelines that have to be followed for these tax payment agreements, and there is interest involved in it as well. But this is something that the Select Board has been looking to do for a number of years, and in order for us to complete that task, we do have to go to town meeting to have it approved. This is an assistance program for those who are in need.
Well, we can start with some questions then.
From the committee first, if you can identify yourself when you ask to, sorry, David, I didn't mean to jump in there.
No, not at all. Thank you.
Those who maybe in the hall first, then we can go online.
Okay, I'll start with a question myself. So can you say what triggered the recommendation to implement this, and is it similar to other towns or other municipalities?
This is a standard operating practice in a municipality where if somebody needs some assistance, they can't pay their bills immediately, they do ask for a deferred tax payment plan. And it's standard, but the town of Stoughton has never adopted it. And this has great benefit to people who might have a financial need at this point in time. They enter into a payment schedule, and with that payment schedule, it makes it easier for them, and it will keep them from ending up in tax title. And tax title is essentially the town will eventually foreclose on a property, and we don't want to do that.
And do other towns have anything similar?
Other towns? Oh, yes, it's standard operating practice. And
do
multiple
we have anything,
communities have.
is this replacing anything similar, or is it just brand new for Stoughton?
No, this is brand new for Stoughton. This is not something you've had before, and this is definitely beneficial.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And now, anyone else in the room have any questions from the committee? If you'd like to identify yourself and ask your question.
Joe Piana, Precinct 6. Is there certain criteria for this? Loss of job or medical or some type of despair that would trigger this?
You would have to come in and be in tax title or going into tax title. It can't just be because. So with that, if you're going into tax title, that's obviously an identified hardship. And then the treasurer collector is the one who can enter into payment plans. Anything could happen. You could lose your job. You could have, unfortunately, someone in your family die, and it creates a burden. So this helps the taxpayers. And like I said, it takes a while to get to tax title. You can't apply for this if you're already just paying your taxes. So it is a requirement that you are going into tax title. Well, by the time you get to tax title, you haven't paid your taxes for 2 to 3 years. There's a certain deadline that we have to follow, and all tax title liens have to be filed within 3 years of default. So you've shown that you have an issue, and we're going to try and help you out as best we can.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, no, don't see any other questions from the Great Hall. Any questions from committee members online?
Marina Reyes has her hand raised. Marina?
Good evening, and thank you. What's the interest on the defaulted payments?
The defaulted payments as of November 1st of 2024, the law has changed. When you're going into tax title now, after that date, your tax title interest is 8%. Anything that went into tax title prior to is 14%, I believe. So there is a big variance. There was a legal case going back, I think it was in Wisconsin, maybe, or upstate New York, that totally changed the tax title payment process and how we can collect on these. Now, it's also up to the treasurer collector. There's an agreement. There's a section here that allows for the treasurer to waive up to 50% of interest that's been accrued. But there's certain things in the plan that you have to be able to comply with your payment schedules. So once you comply, we can write off, treasurer can write off up to 50% of interest that's already accumulated.
Thank you.
Anybody else online? Seeing none, Mr. Chair. Open up to the public.
Yeah. Any members of the public online have any questions? Feel free to ask those now.
Seeing none, no hands raised. I don't see any public in the audience here at the Great Hall, so there's no public. Okay. Do we release bids?
Maybe just one more question.
Sure.
So this would just be implemented by whatever relationship, not existing relationship, but whatever agreement could be started from scratch by the person in default and the
treasurer.
town.
The treasurer.
So
It's
someone
under
would
the-
come in and say, please give me a break.
No, they have to be in tax title or going into tax title. You cannot just do this because you don't want to pay your taxes. So going into tax title means we're getting ready to foreclose on your property. So there are certain guidelines and restrictions that follow this. And like I said previously, our job is not to take someone's property in foreclosure, but fair warning to anybody who enters into these agreements, if you default and do not follow the guidelines of the agreement, we can proceed forward into tax title and eventually foreclosure.
But it would be up to the treasurer to have full authority to say yes or no on.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, Tracy Meggio has her hand raised online. She's a committee member.
Yeah, Tracy, if you'd like to ask your question.
Yes, please. I'm District 5. The current redemption period, once it's in title foreclosure, I know another state has a statewide 2-year redemption period from the time it is foreclosed by the town or city. What is it currently in Stoughton?
We have to follow Massachusetts general law. Other states don't follow the same laws that we do. We are much stricter than everybody else. But as long as you're in your payment plan and you comply with your payment plan, so if your payment plan is 5 years, then you have 5 years to pay your taxes. It has to be restricted, and any agreement would be going through the legal process. So town council would be involved, and it would be a legal binding agreement on both parties that it does not go into foreclosure as long as you are not in default.
Okay, is there a redemption period once it's in foreclosure?
Oh, your redemption period in foreclosure, you would have to, once you're in foreclosure, we send the property to land court. So once it's in land court, you would have to pay off everything up front in order to get it out of foreclosure. And like I said, the town doesn't want to take properties into foreclosure. We have enough properties right now of our own properties that we would like to manage, and we want to keep everything on the tax rolls for the community. It's very important that we assist people, but also not put the town finances in jeopardy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else online? Okay, anybody from the public? Final call for the public online or in the Great Hall?
I have another question.
Mr. Chair, would you want to recognize Joseph?
Joe, please go ahead.
Have we lost a lot of tax revenue because of this in like the last 5 years?
What happens when people go into tax title? They do have an opportunity to pay off before it goes into foreclosure. We do have a substantial tax title accounts receivable. I believe right now it's a little over $3 million. I'm just guessing off the top of my head. I can get you a solid figure later. But this is something that we have to work with going forward. This isn't just for real estate taxes per se, but if your water, sewer, trash also goes into lien, that becomes part of the tax payment foreclosure program. So that's why it's complicated, but it is something that the town has to work on as far as foreclosed properties, et cetera, and moving forward with some of those.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, seeing no more questions, we'll bring the question period to an end. And yes, thank you for your presentation and answering all the questions. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Have a
Thank
good
you,
night.
Biz. Mr. Chair, what we'll do is hear both article presentations, and then we can close the public hearing, and then you can discuss among the committee members their recommendations. Okay?
After Article 4, the next item on the agenda is our review of Article 12, which is a zoning map amendment. And I'll read the beginning and maybe some highlights of the issues that follow. The article says, to see if the town will vote to amend the Town of Stoughton zoning bylaw and zoning map as amended through May 14th, 2025 by rezoning the following. And these include Peters Drive, Central Street, Dykeman Way, Central Street again, and this is mostly zoning from industrial to commercial business zoning. And it closes by saying, and to amend the zoning map in accordance with the above, or as further shown on a plan entitled Town of Stoughton Zoning Map, as amended through May 14th, 2025, or take any action relative thereto. And I believe we have a presentation by Town Planner Bill Roth.
He's online. Mr. Roth?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, Bill Roth, Town Planner. This is their Dykeman Way and Central Street. It's right up by the Avon Town line. If you were going to go to Home Depot, IKEA, that area, it's just past the Noria gas station. That's kind of to situate you where it is. It's an isolated industrial district. I know when I started a little over 2.5 years ago, we talked about cleaning up the map, and I would be bringing these every year. And I'm a true man of my word. We're still continuing to clean these up. It's an isolated industrial zone. The industrial zone covered the backyards of some residential properties on Peters Drive. on Dykeman Way and Central Street. Behind, I think, the Discount Furniture, there are 2 houses that are also zoned industrial. So what this amendment is proposing is to get rid of the industrial district, take the business uses, which are the Discount Furniture, the Noria gas station, and the vacant property adjacent to Noria, and then there's a machine shop and another gas station on the south side of Central, to rezone those to general business, which will all be permitted uses. And then the backyards of the 2 properties on Peters Drive the industrial district, it will be removed, and they will be zoned the RB district, the zoning that is what their current property is. And then the 2 parcels on Central Street right adjacent to the town of Avon, the 2 single-family houses will be zoned the adjacent RB zone, which is the residential zone. So we're bringing the 4 houses into conformance because, you know, they're either zoned industrial or split zone, and we are removing an industrial district and certain industrial uses for an area that is more, you know, it's a general business right along the Central Street and Dykeman Way. And I believe the map, I left some maps for the folks at the meeting, and I believe it was should have been included in your packet. And I'm here to answer any questions.
Well, thank you, Mr. Roth. We'll start with questions from the committee and those in the Great Hall here. And I have just a handful. So the first one is maybe, and I'm sure you said this before, can you tell us why this is an advantage to the town to do this?
Well, we want to look at getting rid of spot zone and a basically general commercial business that allows for business retail uses, gas stations. That area is more of a general business and is not conducive to industrial uses. It's right next to residential uses, small lots. You could have a lot of outdoor storage, a lot of more uses that are industrial in nature versus the typical uses that are general business in nature. And the existing uses are more general business and not industrial, so it's mainly making them conforming. We really want to get rid of these spot zones, particularly the industrial, these small industrial zones that are in the midst of single-family residential neighborhoods.
Okay, thank you. And I guess just one other question is, would this change affect the tax rate or tax bill for any of the properties? And I guess part B, do the owners have the owners of the properties here know about this, or is it up to them?
Yeah, we've held a public hearing. There's 2 questions, Mr. Chairman. We've individual letters notices were sent to all the property owners. I wrote an individual letter explaining what was going to happen to their specific property, whether it would be the back, those lots on Peters Drive or the ones on Central or Dykeman. Public notice was sent out to all abutters within 300 feet per the planning board and state law. I have been in contact with all of the property owners, explained everything. So they've, and some participated in the public hearing. So they have been all made aware of it. Whenever we do that, that's standard protocol. Regarding taxes, taxes are based on your use, not your zoning. So that no one's taxes are going to change. They're not going to go up or down because taxes are based on use, not zoning. So they'll be taxed on the use, which is what they're currently using.
Great, thank you very much. Any other questions from members of the committee in the Great Hall? Okay, thank you. Seeing none, any questions from the committee members joining us virtually?
Mr. Chair, I don't see anybody raising their hands or ready to speak. Anybody online, if you want to ask a question, just start speaking and identify yourself. Mr. Chair, I don't see anybody.
Okay, and there still remains no public in the hall here, so,
Ask for the public online, just in case.
oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, the public online, anyone would like to ask a question?
Seeing none, and as the chairman stated, there's no one in the hall here, so there's no public in the hall. And no public online has spoken up or asked a question, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Then we will bring the time for questions to a close.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, now, Mr. Chair, you should ask for, I guess we asked for a motion to close the public hearing.
All right. May I have a motion to close the public hearing from a member of the committee?
I make, Joe Piana, Precinct 6, I make that motion.
Thank you. And do we have a second?
Second, Michael Moore, Precinct 1.
Thank you. And we will now take a vote to close the public hearing of the Municipal Regulations Committee. And going by precinct, Michael Moore,
Yes.
Philip Connors.
Yes.
I vote yes. David Billow, Precinct 4. Tracy Maggio,
Yes.
Joe Piana,
Yes.
Marina Ryant.
Yes.
And is Karen Klipp here?
She's not here.
No,
She's
okay.
absent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 yeses, 0 no, so it's unanimous of those present. The public hearing is now closed. So now's the time to discuss the articles one at a time, and you can take motions on them.
Okay. And do we do that through the microphones or?
Yes.
Yep, okay. All right, well, let's start with Article 4. And does any member of the committee have anything they want to talk about or consider or mention before we make a motion on a favorable recommendation to town meeting? So that would be anyone in the room now or anyone on the committee online. Feel free to make any comments if you want to say anything before we have a motion. And if none, then I would ask for a motion from a committee member to, a motion to recommend favorably to recommend this article favorably to town meeting.
Yes, the motion would be to recommend approval of this article at the
Or
town
words to
meeting.
that effect, yes.
Or three options, either recommend approval, refer to town meeting, which means pretty much no vote, no action really, you still have to take a vote on it, or recommend disapproval to town meeting. So those three options.
Okay. Well, why don't we start with, if anyone would like to make a motion to approve this article to town meeting?
I'll make the motion to approve recommending this to town meeting. This is Phil Connors, Precinct 2.
Phil Connors, thank you.
A second. Tracy Maggio, Precinct 5.
Great, thank you. So we have on the floor a motion to provide a favorable recommendation to town meeting, and we'll go ahead and vote. And we'll start with Precinct 1, Michael Moore.
Yes.
Phil Connors?
Yes.
I am going to vote yes. Tracy Maggio?
Yes.
Joseph Piana?
Yes.
Marina Ryant?
No.
Okay, and Karen Klipp is absent, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yes, 1 no. Motion passes 5-1.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Moving on to the second and last article that we're considering tonight, Article 12. And does anyone on the committee, either here in the room or online, have any comments, questions, thoughts that they'd like to share before we make a motion on this article? While people are thinking about that, I am going to abstain on this one. Should I say why that is, or do I just have that prerogative?
You have that prerogative, Mr. Chair.
All right, any questions or comments? Last call? If not, then I will ask for a motion to make a favorable recommendation on this article to town meeting. Any motion?
I'll make that motion to recommend approval to town meeting. Bill Connors, Precinct 2.
Thank you. And a second?
I'll second that. Joe Piana, Precinct 6.
Great, thank you. So with that motion, we'll now go to a vote. And starting with Michael Moore,
Yes.
Philip Connors,
Yes.
David Billow abstaining, Tracy Maggio,
Yes.
Joe Piana,
Yes.
Marina Ryans.
Yes.
Okay, and the vote tally is 5-0 to 1 abstention. So the motion passes.
Excellent. So that brings to a conclusion the two articles that we are considering. So next on the agenda is
Motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn. All right. Making it easy. So do I have a motion from a member of the committee to adjourn tonight's public hearing?
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second?
That was Joe Piana.
Seconded, Michael Moore, Precinct 1.
And we will now bring that to a vote to conclude the evening. Michael Moore,
Yes.
Phil Connors,
Yes.
David Billow, yes. Tracy Maggio,
Yes.
Joseph Piana,
Yes.
Marina Ryans.
Yes.
And with that favorable vote, brings the meeting to an end. Thank you, members.
The vote is 6-0 and 7:36 PM. And I have to thank Katie Fogarty for taking minutes, and thank you, Mr. Chair, David Billow. Appreciate you taking the helm here.
You're welcome. Thank you for your help.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you all very much.
Good night, everybody.